online experience. And so again, good afternoon, welcome on Joinrs, new online experience, again with guests after the last some month ago. I'm Giuseppe, I'm from Joinrs marketing team, and I will be the moderator of this live. Today we're looking forward to showcase how fashion works from the inside and how Power BI is used in fashion business, and in particular, obviously, in the guest team. Today you can learn, you can certify, and also win a one-to-one interview during a live quiz. But before starting, I just want to present the main speakers, the protagonists of this online event. Paola Frigerio, project manager at Guess. Hi Paola, ciao, benvenuta.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Welcome here. And Fabio Luraschi, sorry Fabio, good afternoon.
Hi everyone, nice to meet you all.
Inventory strategy manager, and we have also Matteo Bottinelli from talent acquisition team. Hi Matteo.
Hi Giuseppe. Hi everybody.
Are you ready, guys?
Sure.
Oh, good.
Can't wait.
This is the crucial information. In a while, I will give the floor to you guys. Enjoy this online experience and use the chat below to enter your doubts, curiosity, questions also during the speeches. And we will have also, at the end of the speeches, 10 minutes to answer your questions. So we will have a Q&A session open to everyone. Matteo, the stage is yours.
Okay, so I share my screen. I think you guys, you can see.
Yes.
Right, perfect. So I think we can start now. So thanks again, Giuseppe, for the warm welcome. And thank you all for being here, because I can see a lot of people connected. So very glad of this. As Giuseppe said, I'm Matteo Bottinelli. I'm a member of the talent acquisition team. So yes, of course, I'm not the right person who can give you a deep dive with Power BI and AI tool, but as you see, I'm not alone today. And in a few minutes, I will leave the stage to Paola and Fabio, who works with me in the planning allocation department. So first of all, I want to introduce a little bit our company, because yes, we work in the fashion industry, but maybe not all of you know our brand. And we are an American brand founded in 1981 in Los Angeles. But as you can see, more than 70% of our revenues come from Europe and Middle East. This is also why we have an important headquarter based in Switzerland, specifically near Lugano, so in the south of Switzerland and pretty close to Italy. And yes, as you can hear by my accent, I come from Italy. We have 3 offices in Switzerland, one near Lugano and the other 2 in Stabio, which is a little town pretty close to Italy, and we are 1 hour far, more or less, far from Milan. In this slide, you can see all our main departments that we have in our headquarters. So, of course, as a fashion brand, our business units are the product, from apparel, accessories, footwear, and also jewelry. How we sell our product with an omni-channel approach. So you can find and buy all our products in our retail stores, and consider that we have more than 1,600 stores globally in almost 100 countries. But of course, you can buy also in our e-commerce, B2C, or B2B. So like marketplace, like Zalando, or physical multi-brand store like Rinascente. On the right of this slide, you can see also the other main departments that we have in-house in our headquarters, from finance to marketing, from HR to loss prevention. And if you visit our career page, you will see also a lot of new open position that we have in these departments. Then, talking about our flow. So the process from the creation of a product to the production of it, consider that these are the main steps in our case, but also, let me say, in general, for all the fashion brand in the fashion industry. Everything starts from a pre-market analysis and the collection definition from the merchandising team. And this is a very important moment because it's the moment where there is the pre-collection analysis where you can understand better the market and what the other brands and the other competitors are doing and what our customer is looking for. Then there is the product creation from our design team. As I said before, in our headquarters, we have all the design team for all the categories. And between the product creation and the sales analysis and buying session, we have what we call line opening. Consider line opening what in other fashion brands is like fashion show. So the specific moment where the head merchandiser or the head designers share with the buying team and other important stakeholder the new collection. After this moment, there is the buying session. So another very important moment where the buyer buy part of the collection that was previously developed by the merchandiser and the design team. After this moment, there is another analysis by the planning allocation. Now, I will will leave the floor to Paola and Fabio, but consider that this is another main important moment because the planning allocation team is the team in charge of what to plan and what to allocate in a specific store, in a specific country, with a specific KPI. After this step, there is the production phase. So to make concrete what previously designed and developed. That is our main flow. And as you understood, the analytical part is a key point presented in several steps of our flow. So as promised, now I'm happy to leave the stage to Fabio and Paola.
Matteo, thank you so much. Just a quick information before going to Paola and Fabio. Now we are more than 100 people. So thank you.
Wow.
Thank you so much, guys. And obviously feel free to turn on your cameras. Don't be shy, please. And okay, Paola, Fabio, it's your turn.
Okay, so hi all, I'm Paola. I'm the project manager for the planning and allocation department, and I'm working close to Fabio every day. The goal of the planning and allocation is to try to send the right product in the right location in the right time. And to do so, Matteo, if you can switch quickly on the next slide, to do so, we need data every day. We are really working a lot with data, AI, data analytics, because we start from the estimation of the sales during the season to understand how much we should sell the year after, because we need to buy. We need to buy the product in advance so that at the end, 6 months later, we can allocate this product in our stores. And if we have done a good job, we will also be able to sell all product at full price, not discounting too much. So I just to give you an overview, in all these steps that you have seen here, we are using data. Data is the key for all our activities. So today with Fabio, that I will leave the floor to quickly, we try to create a use case for you to show you an example of an activities that we are running in the planning and allocation team. So Fabio, I'm leaving the word to you.
Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be with all of you over here. I'm Fabio, and I've been working in gas for the past 8 years. I'm an inventory strategy manager inside the inventory planning team. And basically, my role is to track and monitor our inventory level across the entire supply chain, which is means starting from the production to transportation phase, and then to the arrival into the DC, and then shipping to the stores. In order to do what? To optimize basically our availability in terms of products in store, as Paul at the right product at the right time in the right place, but also to protect our financials company's goal, because remember that we are a company that it's sharing the market. So all the stakeholders, of course, at the end of each quarter are looking at main KPIs that are sales, revenue, whatever. But one of the most important is also inventory. So we need to keep balance of everything that's going on. As Paula said, we created a quick size. Let's say that it's quite useful that we're running. I don't want to say every week, but when we need to, that is basically understanding if we can ship by hair some products because maybe they're coming late into the warehouse, and there is the probability to losing sales. So we need to understand which is the trade-off of understanding to shipping by hair, increasing the cost, but balance then the lost sales estimation that we are providing. Okay. Before to start, I would like to give you 2 disclaimers, because first of all, the data that you will see are not real. Okay, we created by our own because we cannot share data of our company. And the second point is the fact that we do not have so much time. We can stay here for a day long and explain you all the best feature we can, but unfortunately we have 1 hour. We have a schedule to respect, so we will not have so much time to go into the details. If you see there will be maybe some problems or issue, maybe we will not able to fix it directly, but I mean, just follow and let's see what's going on. Okay, so I will share my screen. Okay, here we are. So it's Tuesday morning. I had a lot of meeting in front of me for the entire day, and my team, unfortunately, has big projects to close. And I received on my desk a request from the buying and the planning allocation team asking me that some specific SKUs are probably arriving late into the warehouse, and I need to run an exercise to understand if we can anticipate them by hair in order to not lose in sales. So I have downloaded this database, which I had inside tons of information, starting from the PO, which is the purchase order, then the vendor's name, from where it comes from, the SKUs, and many, many things. But I immediately see that there are some issues, like, for example, over here, you can see the vendor has a space at the beginning, also this one. But I see also that the currency are not written in the same way. And in this, also the same is for the Incoterm part. And this could be an issue, so we need to fix that problem. So what we can do, saying the fact that we do not have time. I mean, I'm really packed. I need to run. And even if I'm a super expert in Excel and I can know all the formulas inside, I need to be fast. So I need to use maybe some AI that will help me going through this type of process. So what we can try to do, as you can see, as in the best cooking show, we have already something that is ready. Otherwise, we will never be ready to do that. I am able also to see that Copilot is working. Okay, let me do that. I close and reopen. This was a scenario that we were discussing, me and Paula, but if anything will not work, what we can do, I don't know. And this is the first thing that happened was exactly this one. but that's okay. You see that we are live, at least. It's not, recover or whatever. So
The recording from tomorrow. Now we are live.
exactly. So it's the 2nd of October, 5 p.m. We are live. Okay, we are ready. So as I was telling you, what I would like to do, I would like to fix these columns. So I would like the AI is helping me in like trim vendors in order to do not have spaces, and the same for currency and Incoterm. Why? Because if I need to import other information from other databases, and I would like to do like a simple VLOOKUP, if I have an issue like that, I will not link the correct information. So I need to clean all the data. And this is one of the first rules you have to remember any single time. Clean data, you can start from raw data, but then always try to clean as much as you can in order to generate the best output you can. And so, okay, as I said to you at the beginning, I don't need to know exactly which are the formula, even if I know I do not have time, but I just click inside the Copilot and it's giving me the correct formula, and I insert the column in few steps. Now, to move forward, what I would like to do instead, I would like to generate two different columns. First of all, I would like to understand when these goods will arrive into the DC, if I use the ship or if I use the air transportation. So I'm summing, basically starting from the departure date, the transit time using a ship or the transit time using air, in order to understand which is the difference. That then will help us in understanding if we will face some problems or not. And also over here, what I would like to do is to count in the work days, because I don't want to count the weekend, because the transportation is working during the weekend, like the ship, but the warehouse, no. So I would like to phase exactly when it will arrive into our warehouses, and here we are. And here is the formula within the work day that maybe I didn't remember on Tuesday morning. And we can go faster. Then what I would like to do over here now, I would like to create one of the most important attributes that we will need it later. That is the stock out date. So basically now I need to understand, based on the weekly demand that we have inside the database, which is the estimation of the sales by day, and the quantity that we have in the warehouse, when we will go into the stock out. So basically when we will finish our stock based on what we have in the warehouse and based on the sales trend that we are estimating. Because starting from this date, we will understand if the sea transportation or the air transportation will come in after this stock out date, in order to understand when we need to act, basically, and provide some insight and information. And here we are. I immediately have, without thinking about complex formula or whatever, which is the stock out date based on the information that I have. And as you can see, I'm just easily typing in what I would like to do. Okay. And then on this topic, I will give you two advice at the end on how to perfectly use AI. Then to finish up my database, to give them to Paula and move into the Power BI, so the visualization part, I would like to create two important attributes. That is basically the risk that we will have using the ship or using the air. So I would like to understand, based on the stock out date that we already created, based on the data, on the date of the ship air or the air, when we're coming to the warehouse, if I have a high, a medium, or a low risk. So if I see that the stock out date is really earlier versus the NDC date, it's a high risk. When we are getting closer to the NDC date versus stock out date, of course, it's a medium risk. Otherwise, it's a low risk, because it will not generating any issue, or not as much as we were thinking, basically. And this is giving us an idea. And also here, we can hit insert, that we can see that using the C mode, it's basically an high risk. So we are running late. But if you use the air instead, you can see that some line are changing into low risk. So it means that already over here, I can see that using the air method, it could be an option. Then what we would like to do as a last point from my point of view, because then we will create a lot of other metrics and Paolo will share to inside Power BI, is to giving you the exact exchange rate, because the PO that we put inside the system are basically bought in the currency in which the vendor is. Usually we use the US dollar or the euro, but it could be also the yuan in China. So what I would like to do over here is to create, I would like to create a quick table that is giving me the exchange rate that are always updated. So anytime I will go inside this database, refresh the data, I will always the exchange rate updated basically. And so I would like to ask him, okay, but what I can do, which is the best thing to do, and of course he's telling me which is the best solution. Now maybe he will saying to me to use some formula, but I can ask him to skip the formulas and do it another way. And here I would like to give you the first advice, big advice on AI, which any AI you will use, always remember that generic prompt will give you generic answer. So always try to be as much as you can precise on the request you're going to do, because it will give you the most precise answer maybe you will like. And this is one of the most important thing. If you're already using AI, maybe you already discovered that you were thinking something, but the response was not equal to what you were expecting. And this is where we need to work a lot. Okay, over here, as I was saying to you, it was saying to me to use the web service function or other type of things. As I said to you, we do not have much time, and I already have inside what we can do. And actually, I already asked also to Copilot to give me, and he was telling me to generate like a quick table, transform this into table. Okay, then go into data, currencies over here. And as you can see, it's applying some information that are coming from the website, and I can easily insert then the exchange rate. And anytime this will be updated, every single time I will update all the tool. So as you can see, 10 minutes, I started from a raw data and generate a clean database that now I can import inside Power BI and start then the second phase, which is visualize all what we have inside in order then to create a meeting with the most important stakeholder to understand what we have to do. It is valuable to ship by air, even if we increase cost, maybe yes, maybe no. And this is where we take decision every single day. And this is give me the second advice I will give it to you. As you can see, in 10 minutes with Copilot or any single AI, it's providing me from a raw database into a clean one. Okay, you can see that one of the most important things that AI is doing, it's cutting time. Guys, always remember that time is money. It's not a quote, it's real. Any single time you can reduce timing on manual think and use the other time you have into the strategic thinking or decisional part, it's where you will win any single time. So always keep in mind this point, because it's where you will win. So be in control of the game any single time and use AI to improve your skill, to improve your output. Otherwise, if you're not in control of the game, is where it's getting a problem. But this is where I see a huge boosting from AI. So guys, this is it. I know it was quite, let's say, fast. I perfectly know. But now I leave the stage to Paula, which will explain to you the Power BI part.
Okay, thank you, Fabio. So I will start sharing my screen and we can see together how to move from the data that Fabio provided to a report in Power BI. So the first thing I need to do is to import my data. So if you go to Power BI, this is the Power BI desktop application, and you get to get data, you see that you have a lot of different methods for importing the data. Of course, if you are structured enough, you usually have a semantic model, or in any case, a database that automatically reads your data and you are connected with it, but you can even start from Excel, like in the example of today. So I will import an Excel workbook, the same that Fabio provide with the arrivals analysis. And at the same time, I will also import some additional information that I will use later. So I will just select my table and you can see those are the data that Fabio was managing before. So it will load my data and then I can insert also the other data set. In this file, I will show you that we have some additional attribute or dimension that we will need for our analysis. First of all, I'm importing a calendar that we will need to visualize data through time, the currency table that Fabio was creating before, and then one empty table that is really useful if you want to have a sort of folder in which you can put all your measure in Power BI. So I'm loading them and you will see them appearing here. Okay, so in here you have under data, you have all the different tables that we have imported, the arrivals, the calendar, and so on. So the first things that I want to see is the final results of the mapping that we did with Fabio. So the number of the quantities by risk, let's say. And to visualize something like in slides, you can use a pie chart or even a tree map. In this case, I will use a tree map, okay? And I will just drag and drop my quantity that are the PO quantity, what I've ordered. I will drag it under the value. And then on the category, I will use the stock out risk using the C shipment. And I can see here that the high risk portion is quite high, but I cannot really visualize it quite well. So if I'm going here in the formatting, I can activate the data label so that I can really see the numbers. I can even put it bigger, otherwise they are not that visible. But in this type of chart is also useful sometimes to look at the percentage. So I don't want to calculate in my head what is 54 under the total, but I want simply to have the percentage. So to see the percentage instead of the number, I can just go on the value here and tell Power BI to show me the value in the percentage of grand total. So you will see that the risk of going stock out shipping by sea is quite high, 82%. I can copy paste with Control V, Control C the chart, and let's see what is happening if I, instead of the stock out risk on C, I will use the air shipment. You see that the percentage are exactly the opposite, 75% low risk. You can even switch the color or, you can change all the formatting. You can do it always on format visual. It's something that seems a bit trivial, but it's super important. If you have a clear report, everybody will be able to really see the data and understand quickly your point. So for example, in this case, we can put the low risk in green and the high risk in red. Okay, and we can also use the same color in both charts. Okay, you can decide to do not put all the 2 decimal for the percentage, the title and so on, but we don't have a lot of time. So I will show you the final result later, but you will find everything concerning the formatting part will be under the format your visual button. Okay, then after this part, I'm starting to think that since the risk of stock out is quite high, probably I need more information. I need to understand how much delay we have, which is also the possible solution that I need to provide to the team. So to do so, I need to elaborate better the data and to calculate additional information. So in the panel you have on the left, you can see that you have the report view, but also the table view. In the table view, you will see like all your table with all your data, okay? And you can even add additional column, especially if you need to calculate things at the single row level. So for example, if I want to calculate the average delay, I can simply add the column. Okay, I can nominate the column as I want. In this case, let me put delays days, and simply I will subtract from the latest estimation of my arrival by sea, I will subtract the initial date that I have, okay? And since I'm working with dates, Power BI will think that it's a date, also the results. But you can change the format here in data type. We can say to Power BI, okay, it's a whole number. The calculation, of course, it's advising you that changing the data type will impact your data, but it's exactly what we want to achieve. And you see that here you have all the delays for every single product. So we can add all the different information we want, the potential sales that we are losing for these delays, also the cost that we are producing with every single shipment method. And for, in the interest of time, I've already done it myself, okay? So in here, you can see that I have already calculated all the different information that we need. The air shipment cost, the delays, the potential lost sales, everything just, clicking on the new column button and writing the formula in the DAX language that is quite similar to the Excel one, even if it has, its own rules. Okay, so once I did all the different columns, I'm ready to insert them in my visual. As you can see, I've also already formatted the previous chart. Okay, so now I really want to see the different cost of the different shipment method. So for example, I want to compare here, and this is why I'm using a bar chart, because I want to see how far, how distant they are one different shipment method. So for example, I want to start with the planned cost. My original idea was to ship everything by sea, okay? So I will simply put my cost, the planned cost in here, just dragging and drop in the x-axis. And then I will also put here how much it will cost the air shipment. Okay, so in this case, I can see that the air shipment is costing much more. So why should I really ship everything by air? Because if I'm not shipping with the air, I can lose a lot of margin because the product will not reach the store in the right moment. So I will lose the sales that I could do with this stock, and then I will also lose margin. So on total, my cost will not just be the planned cost. It will needs to be included with the potential sales that I'm not doing and the margin that I'm losing. So in order to visualize it, I've already in my table, I calculated the cost of the missed sales, but I want to add this cost to my shipment cost. So I will create a new measure. And as I was saying at the beginning, I want to put my measure all in one table to have them all there. And I simply click on the table that I called measure, and I will click on the new measure button, okay? It will appear something really similar to the calculation of the new column, but it will not be calculated in the table of the arrivals, okay? So let me write the formula, and I will see the total cost of my shipment by sea. And the formula will be the sum of my planned costs, that was the shipment by sea, plus my cost of the missed sales. Okay, once I have created the formula, I can also manage the formatting. So I can visualize the number in a decimal format with 0 decimal though, okay? And then I can drag the measure in. As you can see, there is a difference also in the naming. If you are adding a column, default, Power BI will sum all the different value that you have in your table. And you can also switch the aggregation here. So you can decide to show the average, the minimum, the maximum, and so on. With the measure, you are already declaring the method of aggregation in the formula. So I have already declared that I want to sum my column values, okay? Okay, so I can see now that shipping by sea will cost much more, okay? But I can even wonder, okay, maybe there is a mixed approach that I could apply so that I'm not losing too much money in the air shipment, but still I don't want to lose the sales. And this is something that I have calculated before in my table, just simply telling Power BI that I want to ship by air only the quantities that will cover my potential lost sales. Everything else can be shipped by sea. And I have already calculated also the cost of this proposal. Okay, so I can simply drag and drop also the column here. Okay, and I can see here, you see it's quite small, it's not really visible. So in the format, you can really change this. And for example, you can increase the height of the category, of every single category. And then this is something I'm always doing, showing the data labels, okay? So that it's clearer for the user what they are seeing, okay? For the data labels, for example, I will also switch the position. I want to see everything on the base to be able really to check the number. And I will also add the title, okay? So that I can see for every single bar what we are talking about, okay? Something that could be also really, really interesting will be to see on time which are the shipments, the arrivals, okay, for every single day. And this is something that for sure the line chart will help me a lot, okay? If I'm inserting a line chart, I can really see the curve of the different shipment. So I want to visualize the curve if I'm shipping by sea, if I'm shipping by air, and with my new method. But then I have an issue because here I have different dates, okay? And I have only one x-axis. So what I need to do is to create a relationship between the dates. And this is the third button you have here. It's the most common button that you will have because Power BI, it's enabling you to create different table that contains similar information and connect all the table with one master table that has what we call dimension or hierarchy. Okay, so let's go back to my table. First of all, I want to create new table containing my quantities with the date that I want to see. For example, if I'm going here in the tools, I can add a new table. Okay, and this table will be calculated from the data that I already have. So for example, I want to create a table that will contain the deliveries by air. Okay, so my table will be called delivery by air, and I can summarize the table arrival, and I will need to have in this table the date. And the date will be the air shipment date. Okay, so I will have for every single air shipment date also the quantities, right? So because I want also some numbers to be put in. So I will put here the quantity, and so a column name quantity that will have the sum of my quantity that I have in the arrivals. And then I will also create another column that is giving me the quantity by air that I calculated on the new proposal, okay? So how did I call it? Units air shipment, sorry, I wasn't found it. Okay, okay, then doing like this, I will create a table that has all the different dates with my quantities, okay? And then I want to create another table that contains the C part. So I will start from the same script, but instead of using the air date, I will use the C date. Okay, the quantities will be the same, but the quantity of the new proposal will be the quantity C that are called, I hope, the same way. Exactly. Okay, so now I have two different tables here. So you can see here that I have two new tables. And I want this new table to be linked to the calendar. In the calendar, I have all the different dates, okay? So I will simply go here in the relationship view. I can drag my table. Sorry, I have already the calendar here. Great. And then I want to link it. To link different table, you can just go here and do manage relationship. You can insert a new relationship, but you can decide, okay, which is the table, the starting table, which is the column that you want to use as key, and then the final table. Okay, so I'm connecting the date in the calendar with the date I have in the delivery by air. Something important to define is what is called the cardinality. This is extremely important. So you will have for every single relationship, you will create a different cardinality. So if you have one table in which you have your unique value and another table in which the key is unique, then you will have a one-to-one cardinality, like in this example. But let's imagine that instead of this table, okay, I'm doing it slightly different. Instead of just putting my date, I will also put the product, because I want also to be able to filter by product later. Okay, so I'm adding a new column in the table. I can show you here the results. So I have my date, but I also have my product. So now the data are not unique anymore. Okay, so when I'm doing this relationship, my cardinality will not be anymore 1-to-1, but will be 1-to-many, okay? And usually Power BI is automatically detecting it, but it's important that you understand the logic, because the relationship is the tricky part of Power BI, I would say, okay? So it's important that you understand the effect, okay? You can also have the many-to-many relationship. I have to be honest with you, is not that used because it gives a weird result usually, because you can see duplicate value, but usually you are using the one-to-many or the one-to-one if you are really lucky. The many-to-one is exactly the same of the one-to-many. If I would have done delivery by air and here the calendar, it would have been many-to-one, okay? And then I will save my link. I will do the same with the delivery by sea. New relationship from calendar to delivery by sea. And in this case, it's the one-to-one because it's unique value. Okay, and you can see here that we have the relationship. So going back to my report, now I'm able really to visualize my results on time. So I will put here the date, and maybe also something interesting will be to have the month so that we can visualize also the month. And simply, I will drag and drop the quantities, okay? So you can see here, for example, that I have all my dates. Sorry, I want to put the month first and then my date. And you can see that we have all the dates that we have, but also with the month reference, okay? But then we want also to see the new proposal. And the new proposal has one piece in the delivery by air and one piece in the delivery by sea. However, since they are linked, I can create in the measure a new measure that will do the sum of the two, okay? And we can call it new. Sorry. Okay. And that will sum also the delivery by sea quantity. Okay, now that I have my new column here, I can drag it here and I can see the different curve. So just since I have seen that we are running out of time, I can show you the final result. So checking the formatting, and also I have added here a card, okay, in which I just put some key numbers. For example, the average delay, how much we are increasing the cost versus the planned cost, and also how much we are saving in terms of margin because we are not losing anymore the sales. Okay, so this could be a final output. Unfortunately, we didn't have the full time to go through step by step, but there is a really big community of Power BI that can help you a lot in learning how to do things and how to better present your data. So I think that was it from my side.
Okay. Giuseppe, we are ready for the test, I think.
Yes. And so now I share my screen. Guys, please take your phone and scan this QR code.
Or maybe, Giuseppe, if you agree, I can share before what
yes.
we can offer.
Yeah. It's the same. Yeah.
Perfect.
Sorry.
So let me share again. Okay, here we are. So the winner will have the chance to have an interview and a CV check with the talent acquisition team in order to understand better your experience and also your next goal in terms of career. And then a one-to-one of 1 hour with Fabio and Paola for a focus on Power BI or Excel and related topic. Okay, sounds good?
Cool.
Perfect.
Okay. Now you should see my screen. Yes. Okay. Now you can scan this QR code, or you can go also to menti.com and enter the code below. So a lot of people, wow. Thank you guys for being here with us till the end. Okay.
Guys, if you feel overwhelmed about what we said, it's fine. I mean, in 1 hour, we vomit at you anything that it could be possible to say to you. So don't be worried. I mean, it takes time. In 1 hour, of course, we can do what we can. But I mean, if you have any question, use the chat as some of you already done. Or if you want to contact us later, no problem at all. I mean, it's totally fine.
Okay, let's start. This is the first question. Perfect. And now we have also the leaderboard. We'll check. Please, if you have the possibility, rename your your icon and also the name if you want, or at the end of the quiz, just to recognize the winner. The second one. Okay, the correct answer is the first one. And now the ranking says that what has been the fastest. But we have 3 questions. That could change the final ranking. So, how do you create a new measure in Power BI? Not so easy.
That was a tricky one.
So 3 different people at the first position after the first 3 questions. Now we have the 4th.
It's easy to understand how the question of Paula are more tricky than mine, but so you can understand the 2 people that we are.
Now we know who prepared the questions. Okay, now we see the leaderboard, and okay, perfect. And now you have the last chance to win the one-to-one interview, as Matteo said some minutes ago. Which is the best chart to use for representing time series data in Power BI? Line chart. Perfect. And now we show you which is the winner. So what got a lot of points, and he or she is the winner. If you give us your name and your surname in the chat, so Matteo could contact you in the next days.
Feel free to reach me also.
What?
Okay.
Thank you, What? Thank you so much. Sorry for I'm not sure if my pronunciation is correct, but congratulations.
Perfect.
Thank you also for thank you, and thank you for your email. Matteo, I share also the company profile of guests
thank you.
on Joinrs with all the open positions for everyone. So if you want to say something about some details about the open positions.
As I said before, feel free also to visit our career page, and it's the right place where we publish all the open position that we have in this moment. But I can also share again my presentation, because generally speaking, in our career page, you can see all our open position from internship to senior profile. If you're talking about internship, consider that we share 6 months plus other 6 months full-time experience. So it's a 4 hours per week job. So it's a full-time position, as you understood, in an international, fresh, and dynamic environment, because this is the, let's say, main headquarter now of the company. It's a paid internship with 1,500 per month, plus an in-house canteen, which is completely free for all our interns. Then there is a specific platform for training and development for all our employees. And then an important discount for all our products, both online and in stores. And that's it, guys. So
thank you, Matteo. Perfect. So, guys, do you have any questions, curiosities? Thank you, Fabio, for having answered to the question during Paola's speech.
I would like to do a moderator, you know. I would like to quit my job and do a moderator.
We can change our roles in the next online experience. Oh, guys, you have also the possibility now to open your microphone. If you have any questions, you can talk directly to Matteo, Paola, and Fabio.
Hello.
Hi. Good
Yeah.
afternoon.
Yeah. Hi. Good afternoon. This is Abhishek here. Actually, unfortunately, there was some disturbance in my line, so I could not able to attend the full webinar. So I just wanted to know that are the recordings will be available for this one?
Yes.
Okay.
It's
Great.
yeah. It should be available from tomorrow morning, and you will receive tomorrow an email with the recording of this session and also with the link to the open position in guest.
Okay. Great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Then there was another question that was asking us the database, but I think also the project of Power BI, if we can send to them. As I reply into the chat, we need to discuss internally, but we're not talking about real data, so I don't think there is any type of issue, but let us understand internally, and then maybe we can provide also the Excel file, the Power BI file. And then I was reading Marco that was asking if we are using other software. Yes, let's say we have many of. I'm also using Python to automate a lot of things. But once again, it takes time. I don't think it's the right place. But yes, we're using a lot of other software. And I have to say that here in Guess, we're quite, let's say, advanced in the fashion industry. I would like to say, not in all the companies of the world, but in the fashion industries, we're quite moving fast and forward in terms of software and other type of stuff.
Ask what are the key things you consider when reviewing resumes and selecting interns? Matteo.
If you have 2 hours now, we can talk about this topic. Now, let me say that attitude is a key point for our company. So, of course, you can't see the attitude on your resume, on your CV. Let me say that we have AI tool also in our application tracking system. So it's let me say it's very important the application that you can do in general. So my suggestion now is to do not apply to any type of job that you can see in the career page, but target the specific one that you prefer. And then I hope that there could be a first interview in order to know better each other and also your goal.
And the last one before close this session, how does Guess currently use Power BI in their decision-making process?
So Power BI is linked to mainly our planning and buying system. So we are building all the reporting part here. It could be visualizing the forecast, visualizing how we bought the collection, the performances, all the different information are there for us to see and to take decision. But yeah, across all function, I would say.
Thanks. Thank you, Paola. And someone for students or new graduate aiming for a data role at Guess, which Power BI skills or certification would be the most valuable to highlight?
I think it's my personal opinion, but I think if you are able to learn by yourself, that will be the big skills. Because if you are learning by yourself how to use Power BI, that skill can be used in several different fields. So I think it's more the attitude, as Matteo was saying, the attitude toward learning and really trying to understand how you can do things in a better way. Not really certification or something specific. it's really putting yourself there and trying to do something that could help.
Yes, exactly, Samantha. Self-learning. Okay, this is maybe the best option. Simona is asking if do you look for a self-portfolio showing projects?
Well, let me say, depending by the specific position. Generally speaking, self-portfolio is very helpful in our case if we are talking about designer position. In this case, maybe it's not the first option or the first key points that we see, honestly.
And I tried to answer to Marco's question. Sorry, I didn't find on the link the job offers. Yes, because you see only job offers that are in line with your preferences. So if today you can see any job offer, don't worry, because maybe in the next month you will see something. Matteo, Paola, Fabio, thank you so much for this experience. Thank you for your time, first of all.
Welcome. Thank you all, guys. It's been a
It was a
pleasure.
pleasure.
See you next time. Matteo, Paola, Fabio. Bye.
Ciao guys, thank you so
Bye,
much.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.